JB, the only and the only Mr. Steal Your Dibs. Got these other cats out there trying to copy me, duplicate me, imitate me, be me. You can't be Mr. Steal Your Dibs. All right? Forget the stepping. And on the other side, our special guest for the day, the one and only, the Crescent City Saint, Mike Bradley. What's
Hey,
happening, brother?
man, I'm cooler than a fan. I'm blessed. Just getting off of work, so y'all have to excuse me. I'm a bit multitasking right now. I'm about to hop in my vehicle, but man, let's get this show on the road, dude. Forget about me. Let's do this show.
Let's do the show. All right. So the last time you was on this show, we talked about, you know, The Rock.
Yeah,
In some people's eyes, he is the first black WWE champion. And some other people's eyes, it's Kofi. Kofi had an interview the other day, and I'm gonna kind of paraphrase what he said. Kofi said that he finds it stupid and ridiculous that people don't give Rock credit for being the first black WWE champion. He also said, when I look at The Rock, I see a black man. Yeah, he's half black and half Samoan. But by looking at the guy, what do I see? I see a black man. I'm going to let you go first on this in regard to what Kofi says.
okay. I mean, to be honest, Rock is indeed he's black. He is the first. I will say unrecognized black WWE champion, but I believe my personal feelings as a fan is that they're not going to recognize that. They're not going to go with that notion simply because they don't want to feed into the whole race thing. But it's pro wrestling. It's pro wrestling, and that is exactly what it does. It exploits races. It exploits racism and stereotypes. And granted, there have been times I've been in my feelings, but I will say, Rock is indeed the first recognized WWE black WWE champion, but
Mm-hmm.
second. But if we're gonna go on percentages and we're gonna go on, you know, numbers and stuff like that, I'd have to give more to Kofi. But it is what it is. I have to give credit where it's due. Rock is indeed the first black WWE champion.
What Kofi said was how I always looked at it. I look at The Rock, I see a black man. So for me, my opinion is, it was hard for me to say he wasn't the first black. I always said he was, you know, and that's just how I feel. They got people out there that says, well, not Kofi, excuse me, The Rock, they only played into his Samoan side when he wrestled. And I gotta sit there and say, you know, part of that is true, but did we forget about the Nation of Domination? Did we forget about his dad, Rocky Soulman Johnson? You know? So with that being said, I always looked at The Rock as the first black WWE champion. There was an article years ago where Triple H said it, that didn't Rock win this belt to be the first one? So I am in agreement with what Kofi says, and I also am happy that Kofi came out and said that. He didn't have to say it, but I'm happy he did say it. I'll let you rebuttal if you got anything you want to say.
Um, with Kofi saying it, it's true. Then I mean, to be safe, it's playing politics, but
Mm-hmm.
it's more truth than politics. And
Right.
then like for years, I've watched Triple H. I believe he's 90% of what his character is, and so when he says something like that, well, about Rock being the first one to win it, that's kind of like being dickish to say it because let's not forget his best friend is Shawn Michaels.
Oh yeah.
They he knows all about playing the game, if you will,
Yeah.
and shortcutting people. So You know, for him to say something like that, of course he's gonna acknowledge it, but he's gonna be a dick about it. You know.
I want you to sit here and answer this question because you brought up something good about Shawn Michaels. And I had a conversation with somebody before. I said, yes, The Rock did not want to wrestle Shawn Michaels because Shawn Michaels was disrespectful to The Rock's grandmother, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did not ever want to wrestle with Shawn Michaels. But I said also, Shawn Michaels was trying to hold The Rock back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You agree with that? Yes.
Oh indeed, indeed. Especially in we all remember when for some of us who go back, Pepperidge Farms, the promo where Stone Cold got hard and
Yeah.
I believe it was Shawn in the ring with Jim Ross, and he kind of made this side note like, if you smell what I'm cooking, you know, as if saying that it was
The Rock.
Rock who hit Austin with a town car. I mean, me personally, I thought that would have been dope. You know,
Yeah, for the feud.
I'm like, hell, like this man has come out with a beer truck, has embarrassed him, he stunned him dozens of times, but you know, to keep that face, to keep that baby face Rock going, of course, you know, we got to pin it on another guy and do it like that. Not to mention, if you've ever seen the very first SmackDown, that main event where Trips fought Rock
Mm-hmm.
and Shawn Michaels was the special guest referee
Yeah.
in those nut hugger shorts.
Yeah.
Dude, he kicked the hell out of Dwayne.
Yeah.
Like, yo, that was a bit stiff. That was a bit stiff, and I'm like, you know what? I don't blame Brock if he was to get his receipt. Put a receipt on Shawn like that.
Oh,
Excuse me,
without a
I'm
doubt.
multitasking and I'm just leaving work. So
Oh, you good, Chief. You good. What up, Tro? I see you. Yeah. I mean, we sit here and say Shawn is one of the greatest performers ever in the ring. But we all know, man, behind the scenes, back in the day before he found God, bro, that was a different person that was not liked by a lot of people.
oh yeah, oh yeah, he had some bitch in him, and he was always getting his ass kicked, whether it was by the the Jacob twins, Eli and Jacob Blue, aka the Disciples of Apocalypse,
Yeah.
or whether it was the nine Marines he was talking shit to, and he lost. You know, he got beat up, and he's like, "Oh, I can't defend the title." It's like some real pussy shit. Like at the end of the day, granted, Shawn Michaels is one of the greats, but as a human being, like, you know, as a human being prior to him finding Christ, like he was kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Pretty much a piece of shit. And I'm not, you know, going off of I'm not going off of what people are just saying. It's like you can see it in his matches. You can see it, you know, in like in multiple documentaries. And just his attitude alone. Like I'll never forget during the Iron Man match, there was a part where he's got Bret Hart in the corner,
Yeah.
and coming off the apron, he whips Bret Hart's shoulder into the ring
The
post.
turnbuckle? The
Yeah,
post.
into the ring post, and he tells the camera, "It's like, fuck out of my way before I knock you out." And I'm like, "Yo, what?" Like, I'm like, "Yo, like, okay." Trying to like make up an excuse. Oh, maybe the guy was in his way or something like that. No, that motherfucker was a prick. He was a prick. He was a piece of shit. And hell, you can see it in the old D-Generation X home video, like all the stuff that he was doing. You know, making the fellatio faces to people. I'm like, yo, they
Yeah.
got fucking kids out here, dude.
Right.
So, you know, I'm like, not just going by what other people are saying, but you can definitely see it in his attitude in his matches. And I'm like, granted, you don't get to the top being nice, but at the same
Correct.
time, you don't have to be an asshole to do it either. You don't have to treat people like an asshole to do it either.
I totally in agreement with you, my man. You know, even Bret Hart was one of the guys that beat him up backstage.
Yeah, even Hitman beat his ass.
Yes, indeed. I love the Hitman, bro. I love the Hitman. So, staying on track with The Rock, there was a tweet that went out from Daniel Bryan that said he would love to wrestle The Rock one day. I want to get your thoughts about that matchup if it ever is to happen.
If he was ever to do it, he would have did it when he won the title from CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a great time to do it because, of course, Rock is going to go in as the babyface, and D. Bryan, like, yeah, he was the heel, but it's like he's not like a John Cena, Stone Cold. Like, granted, great wrestler, but I've never seen him as a marquee guy.
Right.
I've never seen him as like that marquee guy who's like, yo, like this dude is gonna, he's gonna be like sell out, be a box office champion,
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the yes got over, the yes chant got over, but it's like, D. Bryan, I don't know. That's just for me. That's kind of like it should have happened in the window that Rock was still, willing to participate with WWE as an in-ring competitor.
Correct. Well, to me, it doesn't excite me. Do I think it could be a good match? Yeah, Daniel Bryan is very talented in the ring. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. I think they could put on a hell of a show, but is it one of those matches that's gonna grab you like, oh man, I gotta watch it? Like how they built up Rock and Cena for a whole year. They had everybody's attention for a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
They had Rock and Stone Cold at 3 WrestleManias. Come on, man. That's 2 marquee names. And Rock and Stone Cold to this day was the biggest draw for any WrestleMania at WrestleMania 17.
Oh, dude.
So
millions and millions of dollars.
Well, without a doubt, exactly. So yeah, it doesn't grab my attention. Now, if they were to say Rock versus Roman, that grabs my attention even more.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be the only reason for Rock to come back and then have to, pass the baton again, or just make it something special. Like right. I could only see it at like a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Now, if The Rock comes back and wrestles Daniel Bryan or Roman in his one match, The Rock got to lose that match.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. He's definitely gotta put over somebody, and it would have to work that way. It'd have to be that way. Gotta be,
because there's nothing in it for The Rock to win, unless he was doing something like he did years ago when he came back. Do 2 matches with Cena and WrestleMania, win the belt, this and that. But that's not happening no time soon anymore. No. Rock 48 years old now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I wouldn't mind The Rock coming back, cutting a promo. That'd be great. But if he wrestles anyone, I gotta say Roman. And that's it.
Roman is the big dog, and Lord willing, when this COVID is over with, there's a possibility that we can see that. So I would never rule anything out. And then let's not also forget Rock's official last match was with an Eric Rowan.
Yeah.
So not to say that the Daniel Bryan match couldn't happen. Like D. Bryan would have to be on fire as a heel, like that Planet's champion. That probably would have. I take it back. That probably would have been a great time when he came out with the hemp belt. Which I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people hated it. I love the hemp belt. I thought it was cool. I thought if you're gonna go with the whole Captain Planet and Planeteers gimmick, the whole eco gimmick, yeah, that's the direction to go in. That was
I hated that belt, but it matched his gimmick at the time.
Maybe it's just me. Like I'm kind of like the weird one out. I'm the weird guy, but I thought it was kind of dope. It was kind of weird seeing like the different rocks replacing the diamonds and stuff.
And
I was like, okay, it's kind of weird, but I'll take
it. Yes, indeed. Daniel Bryan versus The Rock, maybe at a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam. The Rock did answer his tweet saying that he would love to wrestle him, even though he would job to him. And those that don't know what jobbing means, meaning he'll lose. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
All right. So on SmackDown, we saw Stephanie McMahon return once again to speak to Bayley and Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
She said that Sasha, you might be defending your belt at SummerSlam against Asuka, maybe. We shall see come Monday Night Raw. But said Bayley will definitely be defending her SmackDown Women's Championship at SummerSlam when they have a SmackDown Women's Battle Royal, bringing all of the female wrestlers from all three brands, that being Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. I'm going to go first on this. I got about 4, 5, maybe 6 people that I think have a chance to win this. And I'm going to explain each one. Number 1, Dakota Kai. No, not Dakota Kai. Let's bring that back. Bring it back. What's my girl name? Shayna Baszler, number 1.
Yes.
Number 1, Shayna Baszler. She's back on TV. Yeah, she got a little feud with Nia Jax, but if Nia Jax wasn't suspended, I would not be saying Shayna Baszler's name. Nia Jax being suspended right now, Shayna Baszler, I think, will be in that battle royal and has a good chance to win. Number 2, I will say Naomi. They are starting to try to push Naomi. And with this little push that they're trying to do right now, this is another good opportunity for her to get back into the title picture. You know, if she wins it, do I think they're going to let her beat Bayley? No, I don't think so at all. But good shot for her to get back into this title picture. Number 3, I will say maybe the return of Charlotte Flair.
I was gonna say that.
Okay? Maybe the return of Charlotte Flair. You know, you trying to get ratings for SummerSlam and ratings for SmackDown and this and that. Charlotte Flair returns, people gonna watch. It's like how they watch for Sasha and Bayley. Charlotte Flair is still a bigger name than Sasha and Bayley. They'll watch for that. Number 4, I would say Bianca Belair. They finally started to get her on TV. They kind of showing her in this feud with Zelina Vega. So who knows? Maybe Bianca Belair is in this battle royal in the last of it and gets the win. Number 5, I would say we might see Tessa Blanchard. Maybe. The rumors saying that she has signed on with WWE. She make her debut in this battle royal and she wins it. Last but not least, I'll give you my number 6 one. This person is a Hall of Famer. Rumors are going out that she might be making an in-ring return. Lita. If Lita shows up, and if Lita shows up for this battle royal, Lita is winning this battle royal. Hands down. I don't care who else you bring. You bring in this legend, she wins. Floor is yours, my friend.
Well, with the exception of Lita and Tessa Blanchard, you pretty much picked some of the young ladies the young ladies that I would have picked. I would have definitely say, in this order for me, it goes Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Charlotte Flair, and I'm not gonna say anybody like a Rhea Ripley, because number 1 is like, she's more for like the NXT women's championship.
Uh-huh.
So those are definitely my strong 3: Asuka, Shayna, Charlotte. Tessa's a good one, and definitely Lita, if true, Lita. But like, for me, not to knock it, but like, what more does Lita have to prove? What can she, what can she do? Like, maybe I can see her, okay, I put it to you like this. Let's say she does get into it. Maybe that'll lead to her maybe having another rematch or possibly being involved in Evolution 2, the all women's pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I would love to see my homegirl, my baby girl, Nia Jax get it. But with her being temporary, suspended at the moment,
Right.
I'm like, come on now, she got a movie to go film or something? That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. She just came back not too
I'm
long
just saying.
ago.
I'm just saying, maybe she's got like a TV show or a movie or something to go do. So that's why. Because anytime they take them off the air, it's always something. So I'm thinking like,
Yeah. True.
that's probably it.
Well, I'm gonna say this. If I'm picking a real winner for this, I'm thinking this. We saw Shayna Baszler punch Sasha. I think that's something they're going towards in the future. Sasha versus Shayna Baszler, maybe. Bianca Belair is in a feud with Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I have to pick a winner, I'm saying Lita, number one, because Lita can also help with the ratings and bring some of those older cats like you and I who grew up watching Lita and Trish.
Yeah.
To watch this match with Bayley. I don't think she'll beat Bayley. There's no reason for her to beat Bayley. But
no.
We're gonna want to see, does she still have it? Can she still do this? Can she still do that?
Yeah.
Ratings. Tessa Blanchard will be another one. And if you bring Tessa Blanchard in, I can't see them burying Tessa Blanchard that quick. Even though Tony says he think they will when they bring her in. He think they're gonna bury her. I don't know why they'll do that immediately, but it is what it is. And then Charlotte. That's the only ones I can see winning. Well, winning this battle royal, I should say, with Lita being my number one pick.
Gotcha.
So hopefully, we'll see what happens on SmackDown Friday night with this battle royal. Kind of excited from it. Trohan says it's probably going to be somebody from NXT. So maybe he's picking Rhea Ripley. And we're going to talk about her in the last segment of the show when we get to it. Next question. What do you think about the redemption?
Oh, those guys, the hooded necklace.
Yeah.
They kind of caught me off guard, and I'm like, okay, I hope there's some badasses, or I'm hoping that they're some of the people that got let go that they're gonna bring back.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping for. Because when I frequently watch Wrestle Talk.
Yeah.
And I check out a couple other sites, and a lot of people say, "Oh, look how short these guys are." I'm thinking like, what they got to do with anything?
Right.
Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, somebody actually had a pipe and a chainsaw, for crying out loud. It's like, if anything, hopefully it gets over. Hopefully they don't, give them a shit show 4-month push and then call it a day.
Right.
Voices to see like, man, and like look at different mannerisms of who's on the hoods, but I couldn't get anything, and I was like, man, I'm like, hopefully, they'll expose their faces and we get a good look and see what, because I'm like, they have my interest.
Yeah. Let me correct myself. I meant to say the retribution, not the redemption. The retribution is what they call. Let me correct myself on that. Yeah, I want to know who they are also. And man, when they pulled out the spray paint bottles, the first thing that came to my mind was NWO. Spray painting, graffiti, and everything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then they came in with. Go ahead. And then they came in with the chainsaw, cutting the ropes. I don't recall ever seeing the ropes ever being cut with anything like that before. Then they went to the crowd, attacked some of the NXT trainees. I was like, okay.
Now that there, That I haven't seen. I haven't seen in a while. Like, I don't recall NWO doing it, unless it's like wrestlers. But of course, you got signed talent there who's posing as the
Yeah,
fans and whatnot. That was cool. That was something new that I did like. Then again,
yeah.
somebody might be watching this, be like, "Oh, what he did this on such and such at this time?" And I'm like, "But dude, like to run up in the crowd and just start beating up, a dozen people." That was pretty hot. I was like, "Damn, they badass, pretty badass."
Pretty
I
badass. Yeah.
I ain't seen that
On,
since Rey Mysterio got lawn darted by Kevin Nash.
oh man.
24 years ago, 20 some years ago, something like that.
1990,
20 plus years.
1996, yeah, 24 years ago.
Yeah,
Threw Ray
yeah,
into the trailer.
yeah, man. So when I saw that immediately, I'm like, yo, that's kind of dope. How they just beat up on people like that, man. It was cool. It was cool. They had my attention.
They got my attention too. What up, Brian Cannon? They got my attention. I want to know who they are. I want to know if there's a leader. Okay, if the leader's in the ring with them, or is he coming out later, like Hogan / Hollywood Hogan did with NWO, like Brody Lee did with the Dark Order on AEW. It's so much. I'm intrigued with this Retribution group. You know what I'm saying? And what you said earlier is something I did think about. Is it some of the people that were furloughed and let go that came back and they decided to put them together? That would be dope. Like, let's say you got people like No Way Jose and somebody else that got furloughed, any one of them, and they all are a group all of a sudden. That would be awesome. I would like it.
I would be happy to see guys like Mike Bennett, not Mike Kanellis, Mike Bennett.
Mike Bennett, yeah.
I would love to see guys like him come back. What if it was like I know Rusev says he's retired, but I'd like to see him come back. Hell, it could be somebody like Sami Zayn. But then again, I ain't coming back until they clear up the whole COVID thing. So it could be anybody.
Right.
And it was like a lot, and there was a lot of guys that were taking off their roster.
Yeah.
Immediately, I think of guys like Mike Bennett, who could make some waves. A great wrestler.
Yes.
If you get rid of the cuckold character, he'd be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Rusev. If you got rid of those cuckold characters, Rusev was already dope. So, and then again, who knows? It could be somebody like Undisputed Era and a couple of other guys, that were furloughed that are the Retribution. So who knows?
Who knows? Time will tell when everything comes clear in regards to the Retribution. Now, if you watch Smackdown, to me, there was some chaos when it came to Sheamus, Jeff Hardy, Matt Riddle, and Baron Corbin. I was kind of confused because I'm trying to figure out where are they going with these four guys. Sheamus was wrestling Matt Riddle. Shorty G came out and got Sheamus disqualified. Riddle got the win.
Mm-hmm.
You see Sheamus and Baron Corbin meet up backstage. And then when Baron Corbin was wrestling Jeff Hardy, Sheamus came out and kicked Jeff Hardy. Corbin gets disqualified. Then we see Sheamus and Baron Corbin in a match. Riddle distracts Baron Corbin. Sheamus kicks Baron Corbin with the bro kick and gets the win. My question is, what storyline are they going with? Are we still going to see Matt Riddle versus Baron Corbin? Is Sheamus going to be a face all of a sudden? Or are we still going to see another Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy match? Because all that had me in confusion. What do you think?
Forgive me for not. I didn't get to watch all of it. I just saw snippets of what happened. But I kind of hate when they put heel versus heel matches because I don't get it. It's like, why are they trying to out heel one another? And like, what sense is this making? So this goes with like how they say like Vince just comes with stuff on the fly and just makes up stuff, which is very WCW Nitro ish, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
But hopefully it makes some sense. Who I'm happy for the most is Shorty G, Chad Gable.
yeah,
So you can get rid of that horrible name and get back to doing what he does best. And hopefully with this heel character, it'll give him some content. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. And also seeing Matt Riddle, and like, which I'm shocked, like, given the circumstances that he's been dealing with the past couple of months, that
yeah,
they're still using him. But I like the fact that he told the E and he's been on top of it, and he says he's innocent. We weren't there. I'm not gonna go into that a whole nother show, but
yeah.
the dude is money, so why not?
Mm-hmm. So, in regards to all that chaos that we saw, I'm gonna say what I hope to see. I do not want this Jeff Hardy Sheamus feud to end. I thought that was pretty good. They both got a win on each other. Mm-hmm. So why not have a third match at SummerSlam and end the feud there? That's what I would like. I was kind of intrigued with this Baron Corbin Matt Riddle situation, and which I think we're still going to get because Matt Riddle did interfere with the Sheamus Baron Corbin match. Mm-hmm. So that's 4. And where did that lead Chad Gable? Well, that's Baron Corbin's right-hand man right now, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think some type of way, we're definitely going to see Matt Riddle and Baron Corbin still. I want to see what they're going to do with Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. What they're going to do with them. Are they going to keep them in the storyline? Or they're off the storyline until after SummerSlam? That's what I would like to know. But I guess time will tell, and we will see. Now, we saw Braun Strowman make his return to Smackdown, not in person, but via satellite.
Yeah.
And he told the Fiend that you brought the monster out of me that I did not want to come out. So, I'll let you go first. Is Braun Strowman going back to being the heel Braun Strowman that we knew when he was the monster?
My Wi-Fi is acting up. Give me 1 second.
I got you.
Put some more. There. You got Bray in the ring. He's got oh my goodness. He's got Alexa Bliss, who we know has a with Braun from the past for the mixed match, but from the mixed tag team.
Mixed match, yeah.
And then we haven't seen since the horror show. So to speak. Oh my goodness! And then it's like to his roots, and he's punched the devil and all this other erratic psychobabble that he's talking about. I'm like, okay, dude. Like, one of y'all got to be the. One of y'all has to. Yeah. Can't be heel. So that's where I'm a bit confused at. And then Braun having these lengthy, Shakespearean like promos. I'm like, nah, bro. Just keep it simple. Just get these hands and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. So we see anybody that the Fiend has come in contact with, except for Goldberg, he's caused them to go back to their old self. Mm-hmm. We talking Seth. He has something with John Cena, Daniel Bryan. He's done that. Mm-hmm. Looks like he did it a little bit earlier to Braun Strowman. So he's kind of won half the battle already. You know what I mean? And now, going into SummerSlam, we all know there's no way Braun Strowman will beat the Fiend. There's no way.
Oh, no. Oh no, this is the tiebreaker. If anything, he's gonna get the belt. We're gonna see that ugly.
We lost Mike for a second. But in regards to what Mike was saying, until we get Mike back, he said we're going to get that ugly belt. He's going to log back in a second. We're going to get that ugly belt that the Fiend carries around. All right? And like we've been saying, it's time for not the Fiend, for Braun Strowman to lose the belt. It's time. Okay? He's not a champion that we're going to tune in to watch on Smackdown. It's not going to happen. He only has the belt because Roman pulled out of WrestleMania. Newsflash to y'all again, Braun was not going to be on WrestleMania. They had nothing for him. Okay? He was a fill-in. He was a fill-in. So, that being said, they got the Fiend back. They putting the belt back on the Fiend. To me, the Fiend should have never lost the belt to Goldberg. That's my honest opinion. So Braun Strowman is losing that belt at SummerSlam. So we can get Mike Bradley back up in here. He's still having issues. We hear you, bro. Can't see you. That's the only thing. I see something. I don't know what I see, but I do see something. So, we lost Mike again. So I'm going to go on to the next topic. And if you watch NXT, you saw Dakota Kai become the new #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. Now, I'm kind of torn in the middle between if Dakota Kai will defeat Io Shirai or if Io Shirai will defeat Dakota Kai. I don't know which way to go with this. Because I've been saying for the longest, I don't know. What up, Chuck? I don't know if Io Shirai, #1, is the person that could carry the women's NXT belt for a very, very long title reign. I've also said, #2, who else can be that person to have that long title reign? And I said Candice LeRae, because it seems like they're pushing her. And I also think Mia Yim will be perfect for it. So with Dakota Kai now, next to get this challenge, I don't know. And why I don't know? Because she got a big woman with her. Yeah, she has a manager. That lady's something else. She big time. She mean. Yeah. And she gonna interfere. Can Io Shirai get over that obstacle? I think so. But I'm torn in the middle like who to pick. But I will pick one. And I'm gonna go with my head. And I'm gonna say Io Shirai will stay as champion at NXT TakeOver 30. Okay? I think she'll get it. Now, my boy Mike Bradley trying to get back on. Now, in regards to Rhea Ripley, what is next for her? I mean, kind of crazy, Rhea Ripley was supposed to be the next person to carry the women's division for NXT. I sat here and said, they're using Charlotte for ratings and everything to get you NXT over. Rhea Ripley gonna beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. It makes no sense to have her lose. Well, Rhea lost to Charlotte. And now it's like in the shuffle and gonna have her with Rob Stone and Aaliyah. Like, battling them. Just kind of crazy to me. It's kind of crazy. But you know, Rhea Ripley, man, to me, can carry the NXT women's brand, hands down. I mean, you know, I know Tony, Tantalizing Tony 11 doesn't like everything about Rhea Ripley, but I'm kind of opposite. I think she's good in the ring. I don't think she's an ugly lady. I think she's attractive, you know, and I think she has a nice body. I mean, I think they can market Rhea. To be honest, I really think they can, and I think she can carry that division. So it's kind of strange seeing her lost in the shuffle, you know, kind of lost in the shuffle. I know Tony come back and will be saying right now the match with Bianca, da 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 da. Yeah, to me, that was one of her worst matches. Well, you saw her with Charlotte; it was a great match. Even though yes, Charlotte can make people look great, I think Rhea kind of held her own against Charlotte in that match. You know, so it's kind of strange. I know Rhea's only like 23 years old, 24. I know she's young. You know, maybe they're holding her again. I don't know, but man, it's just hard to see Rhea lose to Dakota Kai, even though it was due to interference. Ah, man, just I don't know. I don't know. You know, are they about to bring Rhea to Smackdown to challenge Bayley? I don't know. Let's see my boy Mike Bradley on here. There you go.
Yo.
Welcome back, my brother. Welcome back.
Uh, thank you, man. I
All
was
right.
trying to do it on my laptop. Then my youngest snatched my phone, and I'm like, dude, you don't even pay this bill. So yeah, so I'm here. So I'm here, brother. I'm sorry. I know the last thing we talked about was Braun, and I know we said that he's definitely gonna lose to Bray. He's
Yeah.
the Fiend, if you will, and we're gonna see that crazy belt again. But it's like, dude, like I see one guy trying to out heal the other guy and then trying to play mind games. So that's where I remember leaving off.
Gotcha. Yeah. Pretty much. I pretty much filled in for you by saying, you know, with the belt and, you know, Bray winning and everything. I got you. So I went on to talk about Dakota Kai becoming the number one contender for Io Shirai's NXT Women's Championship. I sat here and said that I'm kind of stuck in the middle on who to pick, but I feel like Io Shirai is still going to win that matchup at NXT TakeOver 30. What do you think?
I don't follow them as much. I'm sorry. Like, yes, I'm supposed to be the former best, but it's like when I see them, I'm kind of like, okay, what's on AEW? So like, it's a for
Are
me.
you serious?
I'm sorry, it's a channel clicker for me, and I know people are gonna hate on that, but I'll have to actually sit back down and watch it. I'll have to sit back down and watch the match. But
Okay, let me ask you this question: what's in your mind? Which women's division is better, NXT or AEW?
this is crazy because this is gonna sound like a contradiction. It would have to be NXT. It definitely because I'm not gonna even get into the personals of of AEW. I mean that we can talk about that off camera, which we have, but
Yeah,
it's like on one hand, it's like the NXT women's division has already been built. They already have a strong foundation. Some of the best women there, some of the best athletes, if you will.
yeah,
Fortunately, I don't pay attention to half of them because I can't relate to any of them,
yeah.
and the ones that I relate to have moved up to the main roster.
Main roster. Yeah,
So that alone there, like Bianca Belair, I love her. Like she's one of my top favorite wrestlers right now. Let's not even throw gender into it. It's just
right.
like I love her shit. I love what she's doing. So that's why I don't pay attention to the women's division as much. Not just saying like, oh, I don't watch it. I know that they hot. I know that they got some good shit,
Yeah.
but I don't. I think the only person that kind of stands out to me is Aaliyah and Chelsea Green because
Mm-hmm.
Aaliyah has been busting her ass for so many years to finally get on TV with that character. I remember she wanted to do a Kardashian game, and William Regal was like, "Nah, think of something better."
Yeah, yeah.
And granted, I think she would have, knocked it out of the park. But coming into the game, being a young person, and you want to make everyone proud. But then again, sometimes you got to learn when to put your foot down. And be like, nah, fuck this. I got to do this. I know this is what's gonna get me on TV. I know this is what's gonna make money, and it's gonna, it does it have a lifespan? Who knows? But yeah. And then on top of that, she's with Robert Stone.
Robert Stone, yeah. Uh-huh.
And I'm a big Robbie E fan, Robert Stone fan.
Yeah.
I like him, and then Chelsea Green, of course. The fiance of Woo Woo. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
Matt Cardona, the Michael Jordan of toy collecting. So like that alone, her affiliation and the fact that she is really good, I like her girl, and she was with Robert Stone, so yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I also talked about Rhea Ripley. As you know, Rhea Ripley beat Shayna Baszler, become the women's NXT champion.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 months later, just about lost it to Charlotte. And now it's like Rhea is in a shuffle. She lost a triple threat match. She won that handicap match against Aaliyah and Robert Stone, and then just lost to Dakota Kai. I was saying that I think Rhea Ripley can be that person that could, run the division for the women's NXT, division. Run that. I mean, I think she's good in the ring. I don't think she's an ugly woman. I think she's attractive. I think she got a nice body. I think they could market Rhea Ripley. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion. But it's strange to see that, it looked like they were going that way at first until she lost to Charlotte, and now she's lost in the shuffle. The only thing I could think of, maybe she might be in that SmackDown Women's Battle Royal and win. Maybe. But other than that, I mean, what is next for Rhea Ripley?
What's up, Ben?
What's up, Pop?
I'm looking for that nigga. Okay, she all right.
Oh, she back here.
She ate half of my plate of beans, and I took the bowl and went throw it away. I put the spoon in the zinc. Nigga sitting up there hollering about more. That was the second fucking bowl we was on. Nigga got a good appetite, bro. Nigga sitting up there, she started to talk more. She got more. I throw this shit in the trash and throw the spoon. I walk out there, she had a more. I'm like, motherfucker, I gotta fix it something else. How you say, bro?
Nah, it was good. Welcome to the unaired version of Russell House.
Yeah, I see that.
What I was gonna say is, oh my goodness, what I was gonna say was, Rhea can definitely build. You can build a division on her back. She just have good dance partners.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely has to have good dance partners, and her losing to Dakota Kai, that only bumps up Dakota. That only makes her, somewhat more of a threat to, the women's champion. But I will say, like I said, like I don't catch wrestling like I always catch it. I'll get to what I really been catching up in a second.
Okay.
I saw Rhea getting ready to hit her finisher on her, and then like out of nowhere she hits this beautiful DDT, and I was like, yo, I had to rewind that and check that out. And I'm like, damn. It's like, yeah, she deserved to get beat. That's how you get beat with something like that. Put that ass out. I will say, forgive me for not catching up on wrestling, on much of the wrestling this week.
Mm-hmm.
Will say that I have been loving. I don't know if we're gonna get to that, but hopefully we can skip to it right now. Raw Underground. It is fucking awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all know I have to love that.
Speaking of Raw Underground, it is actually our last segment on the show, Raw Underground. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and just talk about Raw Underground, my brother. Floor is yours.
Man, dude, when they said Shane O'Mac was coming back, I was like, okay, it's gotta be something good. It's gotta be something good. And then like I see like this grungy warehouse, steamy looking area, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on? And then all of a sudden, I see first person who catches my eye is Babatunde, is the former NXT guy, the tall
The
7
big
foot
tall guy. Yeah.
with the white beater and the funny dreads. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's what's up. And then of course, Dolph Ziggler's in the ring. He's a former he's a former collegiate athlete. He's an amateur wrestler. Always had the skills. Always had the skills. So he was doing his thing, and then he gets out of the ring. Then I see Babatunde, who they give him a new name now. He's in there. They're doing a work shoot fight, and it was popping. I see my man Isaiah Swerve Scott in the audience. He's like, man, I'm losing money, man. Come on, and it's looking awesome. It's looking beautiful, and then the Hurt Business. Come
The
on.
Hurt.
I was like, business has just picked up.
Big time. Big time. I thought it was very unique in itself. The first thing I thought about, man, when I saw it was back in the day when they had Ken Shamrock with WWF and they had the small cage back in the day.
Yeah, the Lions Den.
Yeah, the Lions Den. That was the
Yeah.
first thing I thought about. So I was very impressed with it. And I like that, they're giving people TV time with it, if they got an MMA background or not. People are getting TV time.
Yes.
But I like to see if there's going to be a Raw Underground champion sometime with this, or is it just going to stay like that? Because if it just stays like that and there's nothing to try to capture or try to win, it's going to eventually get stale. And I don't want it to get stale. And if they do go to a Raw Underground champion defending that belt every week or whatever, let it be somebody that has some type of MMA background. Dolph Ziggler as a wrestler. Bobby Lashley as a wrestler and as an MMA superstar. MVP with a jiu-jitsu background.
Yes.
My boy Shelton Benjamin, yes, him too. Somebody like that become a champion, So I want that Raw Underground to succeed because it's something new, it's something fresh, and then we all talking about it. Even Busted Open radio show was talking about it, and they all liked it. So it's something fresh. Hopefully they can get some MMA audience members who doesn't watch professional wrestling to watch that, and see what's going on, help the ratings go up, and then hopefully it works and it continues to work to where, like I said, get a champion. Don't just have the same thing over and over. Get a champion. Have a champion. Put a team together, a 3-on-3 team match, and team stuff like that to keep it exciting and keep it going in the right direction. But I was heavily impressed with it. Heavily impressed, especially when the Hurt Business took over. Yes.
Dude, when they took over, immediately I was like, shit just hit the fan. Because I thought of everything that everybody's been saying over the internet. Because it's been like a mixed bag of reactions and emotions. At first, I thought it was Never Back Down, Jam Fight for New York, Fight Club. Believe it or not, Saturday Night.
Oh.
Like they had them sorry ass dancers up there. I'm like, come on now. Like the WAP video just came out. Y'all couldn't get nobody like Faye Jackson to come on there and shake some ass or do something. Like, man, come on. I know that they're gonna progress over time. I just hope that they have more time on the show and cut out some of the whack theatrics that they've been doing for so many years. Like, have a 1 minute fight, 2 minute fight. I don't see anything going, past 2 minutes. They might be hitting pros and, there might be a fighting crowd. Maybe they could do like a VIP lounge there or something. And I fell in love with it. I was like, you got 3 reels. And everybody talks like the haters are going to be like, oh, it sucks. I'm like, you realize these dudes are real fun, bro.
Yeah.
MVP with his jiu-jitsu background. He's a jiu-jitsu champion.
Yes.
freaking Bobby Lashley with his amateur background in the Army. Dude was not a slouch, and he's an MMA fighter. He's got that background. And then you got Shelton Benjamin. The fucking guy was the training partner for Brock. Used to whoop Brock on the mats.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah. And then like as you know, this may be a segue to finally getting Lashley versus Lesnar. But it's like, hey, you know, first you got to get Lesnar to the show, and that's even if he wants to do business, you
Right.
know. But I'm loving Raw Underground. I can't wait to see how it's gonna progress, and let's just hope that there's you know, better fights. Not to say that the fights that happened last Monday suck, but you know, some better fights that happen, you know, 1 or 2 minutes. You know, let's say they
Yeah.
go to commercial, you know, the guys are still scrapping and whatnot, you know.
Yeah.
Some
Exactly.
vignettes, promos, you know, some better dancers, you know, that, you know, nothing too much. I liked it. I liked it.
I liked it too. Trohan says,
I
could
liked
you
it.
imagine pretty much what you said if Brock versus Bobby starts off from Raw Underground? Well, I say this, Tro. I'm gonna say this. Brock would have to come back and lose to somebody at a pay-per-view and then go to Raw the next night, walk into that Raw Underground, and just clean house of everyone until Bobby Lashley steps up onto that platform and the number of referees finally come in and break them up and then set up that matchup. That's how I would set it up. I don't know. What about you?
I can dig it. I can dig it. You would have Bobby play the kind of like the chicken shit heel. I ain't gonna fight you in it. You know, it's not. You know, the time ain't right. The time ain't right.
Uh-huh.
So I can dig that. I I was watching something. Jay Styles brought up a great point. He said, "What if they did Raw Underground in different settings, kind of like the movie Lionheart, which I was actually watching late recently." Like the iron circle with the cars, kind of like how back in the day Eddie Guerrero and John Cena, how they had that parking lot brawl.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have something like that, you know, maybe set up in the parking structure of the performance center. Maybe you have it in the pool area, uh, in a particular pool and water out. Maybe you have it in the gym area where they had the fight between Edge and Randy Orton. Maybe have it in the you know, gym, tennis court. You know, kind of like, because I mean, let's face it, the idea is not original, but it is new to the eyes of the WWE universe.
Yeah.
Anybody who's like follows wrestling, like I know Matt Riddle did it first, and then Josh Barnett did it, and then GCW did it. Actually, believe it or not, Josh Barnett did it here for WrestleMania weekend in New Orleans last 2 years ago,
2 years ago. Yeah.
which was dope. And funny thing, I remember Eddie Kingston being a part of it. I believe he was part of it. I say that because I recall seeing him later that night. You know, and it wasn't on Bourbon. And it wasn't on Bourbon. It was just like just like this. You know, smoke with Timberland. That's got to be Eddie Kingston, and he was. So that's why I bring that up. So yeah.
Yes, indeed.
But definitely, I can see Raw Underground growing, and if it gets a title, hopefully it's a badass title that we get to see on a regular basis, and you know, nothing but good things. I hope Shane does well with it.
I hope so too, bro. I am in total agreement with you. So, before we close the show out, you told me that you've added some things to your YouTube page. So, what is your YouTube name?
It's Mike Bradley, all lowercase. If
Uh-huh.
you you'll see the image the on my if you've ever seen the film Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back,
Yeah.
you ever see the little picture of Brody? He's got like a magazine in one hand, coffee cup in one hand. Well, when you see mine, you'll definitely know it's been uh Jay and Silent Bob inspired. You know, it's been Kevin Smith inspired, and
Yeah.
it has one of my catchphrases on the logo. And, as far as content, I've added some of my old wrestling stuff on there, just because number one, I was feeling the itch again, and I just want to put some good stuff out there. I got some stuff I did with Zach Gowen. I got some stuff that I've done with Shaquem Wild, aka DJ Z. I did some. He did a seminar 3 years ago, and he got me out of my comfort zone, and he actually had me doing lucha, like flipping around in the ring. Would you believe, like
Yeah.
a 300-pound black guy, 6'2", doing lucha shit? And I got 2 matches up right now. One is from CSW against Ian Gallagher. I forgot. I botched his last name. I'm sorry, Ian. But he was a good guy. That was like a 9-minute match. And then the other one is with me versus Chris Miller, where I was really coming into my own in these matches and learning how to become a better performer prior to moving home. But it's just something I want the friends and family to see and the world to see.
Yeah.
You can hate it, you can love it, but I just want you to watch it and check it out. You check out some Gumbo Strong style, if you will.
There we go. Before we go, I want to know, how did you get so close and so cool with MVP and John Morrison?
Well, one of them a mark. Nah, I mean that's all it is. I can't lie. I mean, shit. I'm just a mark, and I look at people. I've always treated them as people. Like, granted, like, you know, they they do what I've always wanted to do. They've done it on a higher level. They've been around the world. I once told John that I have an emotional investment in guys like him, because like they've brought me so much joy and entertainment. I remember on in 2012 for Resistance Pro, we actually my first start. Shout out to Barron Brothers. They gave me my first start, and they brought him in, and I told him, look, I'll take him around the city, because the person who was supposed to bring him, I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna be with John. John's my boy. I love John, and I had met him 2 years ago at a signing, and just told him how much of a big fan I was. We chop it up. When he came to this, just brought him around, and we were talking about comic books. We were talking about movies. I was asking him, like, how did they get away from that WWE schedule? And at the time, I can't recall what he said, but just know it was a good rapport between he and I. Then also he had showed like remember, like, when Bat and the Sun was like, I'm not gonna say when they were the shit, but remember when they were in their infancy and people were just finding out about it, and then you saw the Jason David Frank White Ranger versus Scorpion.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, at the time, he was getting into films, and
right.
He showed me a picture of it. It was him dressed up as Eric Larson, the Savage Dragon. He was decked out he was like a slim, John's cut. So it was like a slim built Savage Dragon. He was like, yeah, man. He's like, yeah, bro. You got me in green. They got the whole fin on the head, on the rooftop, shooting guns and stuff like that. And I don't know whatever happened to that project. I don't know if it ever came into fruition, but I remember tweeting him about it, and I never heard back. So, kind of, was hoping he gets back to me. But I saw him then. It was 2012, and we would chop it up with one another. I'd send him like a birthday text, a happy holiday text. Then I saw him again in 2017 when he completed Boone the Bounty Hunter, and I was like, yo, dude, he was at an AEW show, and shout out to AEW, and I went and chopped it up with him. He was like, it wasn't like past time, like past time past. It was like, yo, man, what's up? How you doing? I'm like, good, man. Just doing the family thing. I had my girls with me, and they didn't want to speak to him. I'm like, babe, this is John Morrison, and my daughter's like, like, give a shit. And I'm like, come on now. And I told him, like, yo, man, big props, love on doing the movie. And I was like, yo, you think you will ever debut it at a Comic-Con? He's like, I don't know. And I said, yo, C2E2 is gonna be here. It's like, yo, why don't you, why don't you bring it out? Why don't you bring it out, man? I just threw it at the idea out at him. I didn't think he was really gonna do it.
Right.
So we exchanged info, and I went scouting different movie locations, different movie theater locations, and I would always hit him up every 2 days, like, yo, this theater sent me something, this theater sent me something, this. So however he got to do it, whatever production company or whoever he got, they actually did the premiere in Chicago. It was a Chicago premiere. They did it after C2E2. But what was so cool about it is that at the time he was working with Underground. So
Right.
he had Luchasaurus on AEW. His wife Taya was there. Marty the Moth was there. Marissa Santos was there.
Mm.
Rey Mysterio was there.
Okay.
Krista Joseph was there. So I guess got a and then also probably El Rey Network was probably doing something with C2E2 to get some more publicity to get people to check out the show. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on their end. All I know is on my end, I was just a simple guy like, yo man, look, I got this, yo, here's this, here's this here, and then like John from time to time would come into town and work with AEW. He'd hit me up. He'd be like, yo, can I send you some stuff? I'm like, yeah, what are you gonna send me? Oh yeah, it's gonna be like this backdrop. Dude, this backdrop was like big as shit. And I remember putting it in the room and my wife's like, what the hell is this? I was like, oh, that's for John Morrison. That's because that's the only way she would know who I was. She's like,
Yeah.
well, how long is it gonna stay here? I'm like, nah, it's just gonna stay here for like a couple of weeks. And like, babe, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. And then I remember coming to another show and he's like, yo, can I give you some merch? What you want? It's my youngest. He like, yo, can I give you some merch to hold for me? I'm like, yeah, man, shit, no problem. So, I just did that simply on love. And then I sent him an email like, yo, this has been finalized. Yo, this. And he would, no, can I take my phone? Can I take my phone? So, so yeah. Um, and he was like, yo man, would you help me with the show? And I said, yeah. And I gotta throw that promo that we did on there on my YouTube page as well, so I'll throw that up there. As far as MVP, that was on the love there. That was just straight up me, just like, I had been a fan of his ever since he had debuted in the
Yeah.
and thing caught me off guard was like he said he was like, I'm not getting in the ring. I'm not getting in the ring until we get this here. No contract. No.
Hold on, Mike. Mike, we lost your audio, Mike. We lost your audio. We lost your audio. Can't hear you. Nothing. 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 Oh, we lost Mike audio. Whoa. So, ain't got nothing, Mike. Can't hear you. Man, he was telling the story of MVP and it went out. God damn it. Ace reporter Trohan just said that apparently Kamala has passed away. Oh man. That's Kamala, as anybody knows, a wrestler of the WWE. And man, that's sad news that Kamala has passed away. That's the way. I want Mike to finish his story, man. I was intrigued with the MVP one, but I can't hear nothing. Can't hear nothing from Mike Bradley. He's gonna try to come back in. Hopefully we can work, because I want to finish this story before we go. All right, how he knows MVP, and he started off saying it was all love when he first met him and everything. And it's funny, I met MVP in Orlando, WrestleMania 33. Let's see if we got Mike Bradley back with some audio. All right, I hear you. Uh-oh. And I don't hear you. Just like that. Oh, man. Trohan, what you say? Gotta love live TV, huh, Trohan? Oh, man. He frozen. There's nothing. Man. He gonna try to come back in. So give him one more shot. So like what I was saying in regards to MVP, when I met him in Orlando at WrestleCon. And Tantalizing Tony 11 was right there with me when this happened. So I got the autograph and everything, and I sat there and said, man, you know Mike Bradley, huh? He go, yeah. I said, man, Mike Bradley, my friend. He go, for real? I said, yeah. And he go, man, any friend of Mike Bradley is a friend of mine. So, man, dapped him off, and he gave me a shirt. I said, let me pay for that shirt. He said, nah, don't worry about it. You a friend of Mike Bradley. I said, man, MVP, look, man, I beg you for the shirt. I'll pay for this shirt, man. I don't want you to, like, miss out on money. I'm not that type of person. He said, bruh, it ain't about the shirt. You friends with Mike Bradley. Anybody that's friends with Mike Bradley is a friend of mine. Man, I dapped the man off, said, thank you, went about my business. Tantalizing is a witness, because he was with me when that happened. MVP, a real dude, man, real talk. So it's, it's funny that, Mike Bradley calls him his senpai and everything like that. So, MVP, that's a real cat, and Mike Bradley knowing him and, getting the tutelage from him and all that good stuff is, is something special in itself in my eyes. So, but that's pretty much it for the show. I want to thank the Crescent City Saint, Mike Bradley, for joining us. Tantalizing Tony couldn't make it. Had an emergency come up, so we all pray that everything turns out well with him. Also, make sure you follow us on YouTube. Please subscribe to us. Subscribe to my boy, Mike Bradley. His YouTube name is It's Mike Bradley. Subscribe to me at JBizza1229, which you see right there. Subscribe to Tantalizing Tony 11 at Tantalizing Tony 11. Okay? Hopefully, when we have the big show that we plan on doing before SummerSlam, the day of SummerSlam, a couple hours before SummerSlam, we hope we can have Mike Bradley on the show. We want to have Trohan Miles on the show. The First Lady, Ebony, said she'll do the show. So that's 5 people right there. I want to get Jay Spade on the show if you don't mind to do the show again. I said, Jay Spade, go get Luke Hawks. Get Luke Hawks on this show. We can get him on it. So, I just want to talk about SummerSlam and the matches and what's everybody's opinions and predictions going to be. Just have a little bigger group on this show for the SummerSlam prediction show. But other than that, I'm your boy, Jared, JB Boyd, Mr. Steal Your Dibs, the president and owner of Steal Your Dibs Enterprises. All right? Just to let everybody know that. Until then, until next week, peace.